Yeah, Dandadan, and I was saying that like, yeah, sexual assault is a big thing in Dandadan, and I wonder if the author is going to make it a bigger focus on an upcoming arc in the future. I don't have a problem with the sexual assault happening in here because of two things. One, I'm glad the author is making it happening to both. Well, not happy, but it's happening to both genders.
Use your
Like, am I
words
wrong?
wisely. I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
anyone
happening
should
to
be getting sexually assaulted, and it's a really
right.
uncomfortable thing to watch as a viewer,
It is. It
even if
is, but
it's done by aliens.
I agree, but I do think the purpose of it is to show the horrific nature of it and how it can affect both of them. I wonder if the author is going to take this on a deeper psychological level to explore these actions because right now I don't think it's a gag. I don't think the author's treating this as like a gag or a gimmick. I think he or she is trying to portray these aliens are unforgivable and they are monsters, right? I wonder if this will play into a factor in later arcs, or maybe there's a message that's already presented that I haven't seen yet, or I'm not exposed to yet. Maybe I need to
You read the manga too,
rewatch it
right?
or reabsorb it. I no, like where the Dawn season 2 ended is where the manga is for me too. Like I don't know what happens
Like
in the
I
future.
haven't watched Dandadan in like almost 2 months, so like I'm definitely behind on Dandadan. I don't
Then
know.
you
I might only be
traumatized.
like an episode or two behind because I mean I was keeping up with it for a good couple of weeks, but it's like
Yeah.
it's the best way I can describe it is it's like it's the most high quality hot trash I've ever seen. Like the production value was amazing.
Dang.
I
Of
ha-
Donadon?
it's like so. All
Dang.
right, let me. All right, don't clip this out
Hey,
of
be careful with your
context.
words now.
Don't clip this out of
I'm
context.
gonna
But
clip
hear
it out of
me out.
context. Oh yeah.
Don't, because then cats in the comments are gonna get all hot and
You're
they
about to
weren't
get
listening.
clips.
Because if you actually like listen to what I was saying, you'd probably be like, all right, like I can see how you arrived there. Let me not say hot trash. I think Dandadan is like a really, really like I think it's the best rom com anime we've seen in a long time, while also playfully mixed. It's almost like instead of having a supernatural show, I think we talked about it before. Instead of having a supernatural show that pivots and has like a B plot with romance and comedy, is a romance comedy with all of the supernatural stuff being a B plot or just kind of being like a justifier for more romance, which I really, really, really love. And I don't think I've ever seen a show do it like that before. And I think Donana is always going to get its props for that from me. I think the production value is awesome. I feel like the writing is just so organic and real. I feel like these are real characters. So I'm like, it's very easy to root for. Same way I feel about like shows like Soul Eater, where it was very
Yeah.
easy to like root for these characters. Although I would argue, like Dandadan's fan service is so weird. You know what I mean? Like it's
Is it
either
fan
fan service.
service?
No, some of it's fan service. Like right at the very beginning of the show, Momo. I'm not gonna say the scene,
Is that wait, which
bro,
scene?
bro.
I'm thinking which
It was
scene?
right after they got out of the tunnel with Turbo Granny.
Was there
No,
like
no,
a
no.
shot?
Momo got kidnapped by the alien, and what happened to her?
She was like tied up,
And
right?
then
Yeah, and then the alien like whipped out its thing.
in that
Is there like wait?
episode, they stripped her down to her undies, bro.
Yeah, that's not fan service though. If you now you gotta be very careful here. You gotta be very careful here
It's
because
sexually suggestive content, is what I'm trying to say.
that's a fair. Okay, now that's fair if you want to say sexually suggestive content. The reason why I don't see that as fan service is because we gotta be very careful with what that might mean. Fan service to me means that you are framing a shot in order to entice like a sexual reaction, in my opinion. Right, like Fire Force is an example. There's no way no one could tell me that there's no fan service shots because obviously it's framed as like a comedy gag, a joking manner. Oh, look at this girl who's like in this
Tripping
figure, this
over
frame,
herself, doing all this
right,
dumb
tripping over
stuff.
herself, all the tropes. Whereas I feel like if you watch even like live action movies, like when they are chained up like that as a woman, they're stripped down to their
Their undies,
undergarments.
yeah.
It's not, yeah, it may not be framed necessarily as like, ooh, they're trying to make me aroused. They're trying to show this person is feared. Like this is a woman
This person's in
chained
a
up,
vulnerable state, and
vulnerable
that's
state, and it's
directly
like
tied to the narrative, is what you're saying.
right, directly tied to the narrative of what this scene is. And I think another reason why is because I guess like you said, tied to the narrative. it's tied to the plot of what's going on. It's not like just some cute scene of the writer being like, "Hey, just look at this real quick, guys." Wink, wink. It's more like it's linked to the plot of she is kidnapped and these aliens are here, and their body function, how they extract information. Unfortunately, to us Earthlings, looks like sexual assault, and it is sexual assault. But to these aliens, it's a way for them to extract information. That's why, like to me,
And so
it
that's
works
your
with
defense of that in Dandadan's narrative. That's your defense.
yes,
All
yes, and
right.
Donald's
So, like,
narrative.
given what you said, we're gonna move forward with this running definition of fan service. It's unnecessary supplemental scenes that are clearly suggestive for the purpose of arousing some specific type of reaction from the audience outside of the
Yes,
overall narrative. It's the same way, like,
yes,
you do not need that beach episode of every anime. You do
you
not
don't,
need that hot springs episode of every anime, but you get it anyway.
you don't.
If you took it
Right,
out, the narrative would not suffer at all. It's the
right.
same thing with like 98% of sex scenes in television in general, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like you don't need that joint, bro. I
yeah.
don't think you need it.
I don't think you need either. But
I
like,
would argue that 90% of fan service, if you removed it, would actually enhance the experience of a lot of these shows.
oh, 100%. Yeah,
And
and
it would make it a lot easier for me to recommend these shows.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie
it
to
would
you,
make
like
it
I
easier
can't watch Fire
because
Force. I honestly might just do the manga altogether.
I wonder if the manga has the fan service in there too, because it's in there a lot. I
I
wonder if
bet
the manga
it's
has
more
it too.
bearable in the manga because with a book you can always just flip the page faster with it. With the
That's
TV
true.
show, I think that's the thing with reading versus like like the book adaptation versus the TV adaptation. With books, yes, you can only read so fast, but like the pacing of your reading almost determines the pace of your enjoyment. Where with
Mm,
anime or just television in general, when it's being adapted, like five minutes of TV time for me is 5 minutes of TV time for you. If I'm reading a manga and I
right.
see some really dope fight scene, like really creative paneling, I can stop and be like, wow, like I can take that in. Or I could be like, all
Yeah.
right, yeah, he got stopped in the face, whatever. Next page.
Yeah.
And I feel like because we're all watching at the exact same pace, like the pacing and like being able to sit through that fan service is that much more painful. Where I bet if I was
Yeah.
in the manga, I would be able to like get the gist of what's going on and slip to the next page because they're not going to take up multiple precious chapter pages on that. But
Right.
animation
They're not.
studios, they going to animate how they're going to animate. And I find it
Hmm.
extremely
They are.
disengaging because I mean, you guys know I love Soul Eater. Soul Eater is one of my favorite shows of all time. Soul
Yeah, I
Eater had a
love that
lot of fan service, but it didn't feel half, if not a quarter, as disruptive as Fire
show. Yeah.
Force's fan service.
That is the if we have to have fan service in shonen anime, that is the best case scenario to use it in, where it kind of flows, where it doesn't like disrupt the momentum and the emotions of a scene. So in order to throw this gag uh, trope in there, that is the best way to do it, in my opinion. Yeah.
Facts.
Um, because like one thing you brought up too about fan service is that they certain settings kind of correlate to a fan service moment in those settings, right? Like you said, the beach, like any of these etchy or harem animes that have beach episodes clearly are for young boys to Google at, boobies, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's
Go ahead.
exactly why I'm so selective with what I watch. I watch a lot of trash anime. Don't get me wrong. Recently,
Mhm.
I'll be bored. I'll put on anything that's under the adventure genre tab. I be watching for the
Yeah,
most part these days. Um, Honestly, yeah, that's just the go-to tag because that's where you get a lot of your like fantasy shows and just
yeah,
straight up isekais are almost all exclusively fantasy.
yeah,
Even if it's not an isekai, it's a fantasy. And there's always, and I feel like I noticed this years ago. It's almost as though these writers are trying to get their foot in the door at all costs, and they're just like,
yeah,
let's design these characters a certain way.
yeah,
The animators are like, let's design these characters. Yeah, we're on. Let's design these characters a certain way, and the first 2 to like 4 episodes, even if it's like you clicked on the show and it said it's an etchy, right? The just first two to
yeah,
four episodes seem to be more front loaded with all the fan service, but then it almost takes this heavy back seat, and then the writer actually gets to write a good story, and then the story is actually a lot more engaging, and then it's almost as if the writer is like having fun writing a good story, and then every now and then they're like, oh yeah, a 14-year-old boy's watching this. Let me
yeah.
Draw that in
Yeah,
there
let
real
me throw
quick.
some of this in there.
But
Yeah,
I almost feel like it's a marketing tactic to a certain degree.
it is. It is 100% a marketing
I
tactic.
don't think it's like, but there are certain situations where it's just like you can tell some of these mangaka had never experienced anything in real life, and they're just really down bad
Dang.
individuals, bro.
Are you saying they never experienced love before?
Some of them cats, bro. The way that no, there's some of the stuff that you've seen in these shows. I'm like, ain't no way you've ever talked to a person, bro.
Sad and lonely.
No, there's just certain shows where you just have to turn that joint off because you're just like, this is some down bad individual type behavior.
Very down bad.
Like that's how I feel like the person who wrote Rent a Girlfriend probably had to rent a girlfriend. That's the only
He has a
way that
wife.
show.
He has a wife. By the way.
How, Sway? Did he rent that wife?
He has a wife.
Yes, he does. His whole wife.
What?
That's crazy.
Wait, you told. Wait, the writer has a wife or
Yeah,
the character
yes,
has a wife?
the right. The
Did he have a
writer-
wife when he wrote Rent a Girlfriend?
Right, that's
Yes,
the question.
he currently has a wife.
No. When
Like, I
he
think
wrote Rent a Girlfriend.
There was some speculation that he based the main character, the main girl, off his wife. There's speculation off of that.
She must be a great wife.
Wait,
'Cause the
Michael,
main
how do you
character
know
is
this?
the main girl is the only good character in the entirety of the show.
James is asking the good questions here.
How does Malcolm know this? He
Did
doesn't
you
watch
look
nothing.
this up? Or did you
No,
just
I didn't-
happen to watch a
it
YouTube video?
It randomly popped up. It was somewhere on my feed. Like somebody, I think it was on one of my Twitter feeds, and it was someone like made a comparison. It was like, oh, this is like dude to this guy's wife, and it was like a thread, and I was just invested into reading the whole thread. And there was people speculating, and it was like, oh, actually, it could be, but it couldn't be at some point. And also, the main character might be off of him, based on, or the main character. The main character is based off of him. But it's like he also like he himself may have a crush on. It is weird. I'm not.
So he has a crush on his own wife, but he's still a down bad individual.
Yeah, that those are there's two speculations. Either that the main girl is based off of his wife, or the main girl is just someone separately, and he just happens to have a crush on this girl that he made up himself. Yeah, it's insane.
No, I just find it hard to believe that he would base himself off the main character, unless the main character is him when he was like 13 and desperate.
That's what people are confused about.
Maybe.
But the thing is, the main character is a college kid.
Jason, don't think too deep about this. Your brain's gonna hurt to figure
I
this
think
all out.
you're underestimating people, Jason. There are 8 billion people in this world.
That's true.
That's how people work.
I've said this, and I think I'm going to say it right now. I think that show is garbage, bro.
You said it multiple times, yeah.
I was going to say it, and I won't say it again, but I knew that was a lie. Because there are a handful of shows.
You really don't like that show.
You know what it was? I think it was a combination of people were hyping it up a lot. I hadn't watched a good rom-com in a long time. Because me, I take breaks from certain genres. Like, I'll be in my shonen bag for a while. And then I'll take a break and then watch some slice of life shows for a while. And I'll take a break and every now and then I'll watch a rom-com. So I hadn't watched a rom-com in a minute. I just watched like a fantastic show like Quintessential Quintuplets.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone was like, watch Rent a Girlfriend. Dude, it's like going to a 4-star restaurant and then after that driving to Wendy's.
That's a terrible recommendation from quintuplets to transition from there to Rent a Girlfriend like that. They don't.
And
they
people
don't
were gassing this show up, and so for me, it was more disappointing than when I watched Classroom of the Elite. And I'm not going to dog on that show right now, but I could.
No, go ahead, dog on it. Go all in.
No, I don't have to go all in.
We don't have time.
It's like a dumb show. It's a dumb show.
Yeah.
It's like what a 12-year-old thinks a genius would act and sound like. And then they wrote a show based on that. And I think if you don't know, it's like someone's like, oh man, you like Death Note, you're going to love Classroom of the Elite. And I'm like, not the same. Not the same level of writing, not the same level of foresight, not the same level of foreshadowing, nothing. Not even remotely close.
None of that.
There's nothing convincing about it. People's like motivations are weird. And like this broody, edgy, like I've seen some bad shows recently too.
Really?
I told you about it. That one dude.
Watch bad shows. Yeah, it's true.
The Arufueta, the world's strongest. Don't watch that show. Yeah. It's terrible.
Why not? You know, might be interesting.
Dude, it had a good production value and had 3 seasons. I'm like, maybe it's just a really corny first season. Had it on in the background, kept watching it in the background in my free time over the course of some days or whatever. I keep watching, like, I don't think this gets any better. I think this is just, I think this is it.
That's bad.
And you felt so disappointed.
I mean, I knew it was trash when I started it, though. I just was thinking it was going to stop being trash.
Oh, you thought there was gonna be potential afterwards.
Because there's some shows that start off really corny and get really good once they like get past all their bad jokes, once they get past all like the cringy like writing and like no.
No, it stayed just like that. Stayed terrible. That makes
All right.
sense. But yeah, so Malcolm, we were
What do I
talking about
miss?
fan service.
But I'll get
Oh,
into it when
which
we do our isekai episode. Why Alfred that is strongest is
Okay.
just an excellent
Why-
example
why
of
are-
terrible isekai.
Why are we talking about fan service?
We were
Go
just
ahead, Jason.
chopping it up, and then we were talking
Actually,
about the
yeah,
shows
Wait,
we were
what show
watching.
were you talking about?
We were talking
Dandadan.
about how but first we were talking about Dandadan and then we talked about Fire Force because Dandadan is like really good show, but it just has these really weird scenes. And then there's like Fire Force, which would be really good if it wouldn't constantly undermine its tension with weirdly timed, unnecessary, completely like distracting fan service. Because I was telling them like
Yeah.
there's shows that like have it and it's not the worst thing in the world. Like Soul Eater. I love Soul Eater. That's my show right there. There's a ton of fan service in Soul Eater. I can't deny it. If you took it out, the show wouldn't suffer for it, but it's there. But it's not like disruptive in the same way that Fire Force is.
Yeah, and we were talking about Jason was framed. Well, Jason's perspective on it was more so like Dandadan has a lot of like the sexual assault scenes from his perspective were seen as like fan service in a way, and that led to us having a dialogue of thinking about like, well, how do we like? Is it fan service really?
I was using the
And that's
word
when
fan service as unnecessary sexually explicit content. And
and
then,
from my go ahead.
and then we talked about it some more and we were like, nah, that's not a very good definition of fan service because fan service doesn't necessarily have to be explicit content. Because technically, adding Shadow the Hedgehog and Super Smash Bros. Will be considered fan service because it's something that fans want in a form of media. And there's nothing explicit about
Right.
Shadow the Hedgehog being added in as a Sonic character in
Yeah,
Stop.
and,
Malcolm.
and which is true. But Malcolm, also the other thing too that I was bringing up as well is the fact that like if these uncomfortable sequences in an anime or movie or whatever are relative to the narrative, then is it really fan service? Because I told Jason my definition was fan service is unnecessary fluff in there, just just to be
Just
there.
to be added in there.
But
Like if
for it
it
to be
has
added,
no
but
bearing on the plot.
right, but I was telling Jason that like arguably Dandadan, they use those weird scenes to fit the narrative and to fit like themes and conversations that the author might want to have, such as the sexual assault scenes that we see with either Momo or with the male protagonist too. That like there are reasons. And another example, I know we're about to go off the topic, but one quick example too I wanted to bring up is that um, Hot Springs is another place where fan service could happen, right? And that's why I love what Don Don did so much. It's because we see a Malcolm. I don't think you watched Don Don.
No,
Did you?
Just keep
Okay.
going. Just keep going. Keep talking.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Malcolm. I didn't mean to air you out like that. But there's a scene where Momo is in the hot springs, and mind you, there's nothing really sexual that happens with Momo.
There really
you don't see her
isn't, bro.
stand up or nothing like that. There's no boobies or no butt really shown or nothing like that, right? But what I love is that she's in the hot spring and she's having this conversation in her head, hoping that her friend, what's the male protagonist's name? Jason, what's his name?
Oh, Okarun?
Yeah, Okaroon. Sorry, yeah, Okaroon and her longtime childhood friend from the past. They met up, and she's in the hot spring, just hoping that they are getting along. She left them alone at a house while she went to the hot spring to kind of like recharge her magical energy and things of that nature. So she's just thinking, like, hoping that they will get along, because she knows how boys could probably get. And then during this time, while she's in the hot spring, there are these 5 grown men who just show up to this hot spring. I don't remember if it's co-ed. I think it is a co-ed hot spring, but they show up, and the way it's framed is very terrifying for a young woman to be in a hot spring by herself and five adult men are like approaching her and they're like laughing, giggling, kind of like amusing to the idea of what they could do with this lonely girl here, right? And I want to bring that up because usually hot springs are used as fan service, but I think the way the author flipped it on its head of showing that like the terrifying nature of this scene relates to the actual overall narrative and to these creatures, because we find out that these guys, I'm not trying to spoil everything, Malcolm, I apologize, but we do find out that these five large men are part of a group of like the, I don't say the elite, but they're part of the group that kind of like runs
They're
the
part of a
town.
gang, bro.
So they have part of a gang and they have a lot of power in this town. So I felt like it was a commentary about how powerful people take advantage of like others when there's like more of them and they feel like they can do whatever they want. And this was a setting where the author tried to display that. So that's the
And
main
Malcolm,
conversation me and Jason had.
you missed this that James said it really earlier. I think that was a really good justification because I think when I'm watching these shows, I'm thinking, how uncomfortable would I be if I was watching this with a friend who doesn't watch anime? Because again, like there's a certain level of like we're used to what anime comes with, right? Like let's be real. And then James made a really good point. These villains of the story, like instead of making them this abstract, we just want to kidnap you, or we just want to be evil just to be evil. The author actually makes them do some pretty deplorable things, aka all of this, aka being a
Yeah.
creep, aka trying to do this and that. Even in the first episode, I think I made the point that like that was an uncomfortable scene to watch, and I think I missed that. That was the point. This is supposed to be uncomfortable to watch because a villain is doing a villainous thing to the main characters, and so I think I missed the point, and I think James made a really good joint, kind of highlighting that again.
Woo! And also,
So
Jason
he
said
changed
something
my
crazy
mind.
about he said something crazy about Dandadan. I'm gonna clip it out of context so we get some views. You know what I'm saying?
Don't
So
don't you
yeah,
dare.
yeah.
Yes, please do that.
I'm tired of getting dogged in those comments, bro. Because you
They be
keep
coming at
clipping
Jason
stuff
for
out of
everything.
content, dude. Even the One Piece joint. By the way, I'm over 100 episodes past where I was last pod on
Nice,
One Piece.
nice.
I'm on episode. What episode of One Piece am I on? I'm on 318.
Ooh,
Wow.
okay, okay. 318.
One
Dang.
Piece is still peak. There are definitely long stretches of episodes that are straight fluff. I will admit that, but it's still really, 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 really good. If anything, it has raised my opinion of One Piece even more.
When is the One Piece? Malcolm's looking like what? How could it? But how is when's the live action season 2 coming out, Jason, for One
Let
Piece?
me check.
Let me see, because I haven't catched up on it, and a part of me, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like when you're someone who's like consumed One Piece, I'm so far ahead of it, and I already know like the live action won't live up to like either the manga or the anime
No
because
way.
Live up
obviously
to
there's physical
it'll be better.
limitations.
It's better actually.
Be quiet. Be quiet, Malcolm. No one asked for
Stop.
your opinion. You're a hating. You're a hater.
How can I hate One
It
Piece
comes
if
out
I
next
love the
year.
One Piece live
It says
action?
sometime in
Next year?
2026. They're probably still ironing
Okay,
out the wrinkle. I'd rather them like push it if they need to push it though.
that makes sense. Okay. But yeah. So speaking of One Piece, that's a continuous anime that's been going on for a while since before I was born. I think the same year I was born
99.
actually.
No, it was after,
'99.
after you're born.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
older. You're a little bit older than One Piece.
I know, right? Dang, that's crazy. I'm a little older than One Piece. Yo, when we get older, there's gonna be so many kids. Like I'm gonna put my kids on the anime. There's like it's just a fact. I'm gonna put them on the anime. And if they sit there next to me while we're watching like Dandadan or Dragon Ball Z or oh gosh, hopefully not Naruto, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, the animation sucks." In my time, this looked really good growing up. Like like I
I
don't
mean, I think
know.
that's why you should always have different eras of media playing at the same time. So, like, you can watch
That's
something that
true.
came out in 2000, and then you can watch like a 1995 classic movie, and then you can watch something that came out last year, and then you hop
Yeah,
between. And I think being able to hop between allows you to appreciate all of them instead of being
yeah.
like, all I watch is the old stuff, and now this new stuff is so different that it's jarring, or all I watch is the new stuff. Now this old stuff looks crusty to me.
Crusty's a crazy thing to describe it, but yeah, that's
But that's
true.
what they be
It is
saying.
crusty. So then, what
All
are we
right.
doing, y'all? Are
All
we?
right, do you want to get back to the real stuff? Because we were just
Yeah,
chatting while we were waiting for you, and then
yeah.
James is like,
We're just talking.
let's just get the joint."
Yeah.
We already have an
So
anime hot take section. I tried to not give a hot take beforehand. You're gonna out here clip it out of context. I was
oh yeah.
speaking in a safe space.
Don't worry, don't worry. I'll keep it in the full context. Um, what? Let's start off with the first thing.
Do your
Okay,
intro.
it is fall. Oh yeah, let's do my intro. You're right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Respectfully Speaking. This is episode whatever because it's been a while. But guess what? We're back. We got energy. We're excited. It is fall 2025. Anime is coming out like crazy. And I'm with my two co hosts today, Jason and Malcolm. And we're going to have a good episode for you guys. So, the one thing I wanted to bring up is the fact that, like I said before, fall 2025 anime is here. And I want to get a good understanding about like what are we either watching right now, what we plan to watch. Is this a backlog season for us or what? So I know Jason is going to have like 30 minutes to talk to me about everything he's been consuming. So we're not going to start with him at all. So we're actually going to start with Malcolm first.
All right. So I want to say that I love the idea of fall, and I love the idea of TV shows and movies set in the fall and winter. It's one of my favorite. I mean, they're two separate seasons, but it's like my one of my favorite times of the year. So that being said, I decided that I was going to watch Helsing, because it just seemed appropriate. I don't know how I couldn't. And so I want to clarify, Helsing, not Helsing Ultimate. Helsing,
The
just the
original.
regular show, the original one. Because the backstory is a couple years ago, I think it's probably like 3 years ago at this point, I watched Helsing Ultimate because I had my friend Taylor completely recommending it, and I heard it had good reviews. I watched it. Oh my god, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I watched like 8 or 9 episodes. I don't even remember how many episodes I watched. I watched too much of it. I was like I pushed through it. It's not a bad show. It's just very edgy. It is very edgy is the only word I could think of when I kept watching it. I'm like, why am I watching this? I'm not enjoying this.
What show
This
is
is
it?
just too in your face.
Are you talking about the Ultimate?
Yeah, Helsing Ultimate. It was just too in your face. It was too edgy, too like emo, somewhat like it was just too pervert. It was just too much. I was not enjoying myself. I did not want to keep watching it, but I kept pushing through. I didn't finish it because at a certain point I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. But I did know that was Helsing Ultimate. That was the remake or whatnot, whatever they would call it. It wasn't the original Helsing. I remember my friend Taylor specifically saying, "Watch Helsing Ultimate. It's way better than the original. The original one sucked," and so that's why I watched it. And then after I got done with like just tired of watching Helsing Ultimate, I was like, "Let me see Helsing. I just want to watch one episode just to see how it was." I literally watched the first episode, and I was like, "This is so much better." I love the art style more. I know there was a different. It was like a 7 year gap between them making or 6. I don't know how long. But like the original one, I like the art style. I like the way they did it. It was better to me. I enjoyed it more. And the story wasn't that much different, at least to me. But I enjoyed it. So I put it on the back burner. I was gonna wait, and now I decided this fall for our shows that we're gonna watch for the fall. I'm going to watch the original Hellsing. I already watched the first 2 episodes again. I've enjoyed it. It was pretty good. I'm in the middle of episode 3, and I cannot wait to get back to the podcast next time and tell you that I finished. So we can celebrate for me completing another anime. It's been like years.
Has it really been years?
No,
I think so.
no,
Because you never finished the Amagami Sisters after we talked about it.
I did not. Yeah, no,
Will you?
I finished the show last year.
What show did you finish last year?
I don't remember.
Did you really finish it though?
I did. Yes, I did finish the show last year.
Probably did. You must have. I think you probably did. Yeah.
Dude,
Um. Okay. Okay. So
So yeah.
for me,
Oh. Go.
Oh yeah, Hellsing Ultimate. Got you. So
What's your
here's
fall
what I think.
recommendation?
Who, me or Malcolm's?
Oh, I thought you were gonna give your fall recommendation next, or you're just gonna give your
Oh,
opinion of Hellsing Ultimate versus the original.
Or no, the original. Yeah. Do you actually for before we even do all that? I know Jason. I know you've seen Helsing and Helsing Ultimate, right? You've seen both.
Hmm.
James, have you seen both of them?
I've seen neither.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
one
you saw
anime
that
Malcolm has
one.
over me. Nope, I haven't seen either one of them. I guess I guess I'm glad I shouldn't have. I guess.
no,
No,
I
no.
think you
I
you'd be
think you
fine with
you
it.
would have enjoyed the original
Okay. Was that's Hellsing, right? That's not Hellsing
Yeah,
Ultimate.
just Helsing.
Yeah,
Now, why do you think I would enjoy the original more?
because I think everything Malcolm said was spot on. Like
Okay.
the newer one, I think it's real easy to get caught up in like better animation bias,
Mm-hmm.
but the pacing of the original one was 10 times better. The first one, it was almost like it was running it was like getting ahead of itself constantly, and so it
Mm-hmm.
never lets you sit with important moments, and it just felt like the whole show was a sprint. It was a straight sprint with as much action as possible, with as much fight scenes as possible, lots of blood, but you never got to
Yes.
like rest in the moments, which is why I think these days, like, I think I had a conversation with you. No, I was actually talking to someone else about how rewatching One Piece, I actually appreciate a lot of the filler, like stuff that you can tell is clearly filler, but it's like a very like quick mini arc in between the major arcs, and it like really lets you rest and like marinate in like all the major things that happen in these gigantic arcs that happen. And I think in the same way, a lot of the older shows were more willing to let you rest with information and meander a little bit. Like when I was watching the original Trigun versus Trigun Stampede, they're both excellent, but they feel like completely different shows.
Okay.
Except in this case, I don't think Trigun Stampede's worse or anything. I just think it's really different because
Yeah.
they were just directly completely different. But in this case, I think
That makes
Hellsing
sense.
is way better than Hellsing Ultimate
Uh,
narratively.
also, I didn't even think about it, James. Since you have no idea what it's about, do you?
I have no clue what it's about. I just know it's some guy I think with black hair. That's all I know.
It's a vampire TV show. That's
He
why
does have
I
black
picked it
hair,
for fall.
but
He does have black hair.
That's all I know. Okay, so it's a guy with black hair and it's a
He's a
supernatural show.
vampire. Think of him like he's Alucard, which is Dracula backwards. If you didn't know,
Dang.
he works for an organization and they hunt ghouls and pretty much vampires. But he's also a part vampire, so he has like supernatural abilities.
So, Devil May Cry, basically, like just like base. I don't know if you ever played Devil May Cry before, but it's on the same premise. Like you're like a hunter of like vampires, but the protagonist is also like human slash vampire, and his whole business is to make money, is to demon hunt, basically.
Well, sure. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of comments saying like, yeah, they're not the same. They're not even close. Or I'm just sure.
They're about
Just
to
for
roast me
your
in the comments, but listen,
for
y'all,
your
listen.
sake, they're the same. They're the same thing. If that helps you.
yeah, how about
Y'all
you put a
don't
reel of you
blame
saying
me.
that online? How about you give yourself an out of context reel?
I'm gonna tell y'all right. No, because I'm gonna edit it, so I'm gonna put context already. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. If y'all in the comment section coming at me, just know Malcolm didn't explain it good enough. So go at Malcolm, not me.
Malcolm,
I'm an
do a
innocent
better job of
bystander.
explaining what it's about.
That's fair. That's my fault. I'm used to over explaining, and I wanted to give like a brief synopsis. Unlike James here, trying to spoil all of Dandadan to anybody who's watching,
That is true.
giving
Ooh.
detailed
He
explanation
didn't.
of the
He
whole
didn't
scene.
give a. He didn't give a major spoiler though.
That's true.
He just
My
mentioned
fault,
that
though.
there is a bathhouse scene where there is an antagonist at the bathhouse creating an atmosphere of unease. That's not a spoiler.
Also, this was season 1 Dandadan. So if you haven't seen
Was that
season
season
1
one?
Dandadan,
Or was that before?
yeah,
I guess they like. I guess season one never finished. It almost felt like season
it didn't
2 was
finish.
just
Yeah,
the second half of season 1. If I'm honest with you,
yeah, because season 2 was when we meet Evil Eye. That was when season 2 kind of starts, basically.
no. Evil Eye happened in the season 2,
Yeah,
but like 4-ish, 5-ish episodes into season 2.
that's true. But the bathroom scene I'm talking about is the end of season 1, which is why it's confusing because they never really ended season 1
They
like
just
at a
paused
good
to
point.
like
They
catch up
just
on animation. I think.
Yeah, they just grabbed you by the balls and just strangled you to death, basically. So yeah,
Not.
This,
There was
this
so
is
much.
crazy off topic. Anyways, Helsing, watch it. It's a good show and it's a good fall
where
show.
where's Helsing at? Let me see. Let me see where I
Dude,
can watch
you
it.
know it's a great fall show.
What's a good fall
So it
show?
came out this summer, but it's a great fall show. It's called The Secrets of the Silent Witch. It's like super. It's like a slice of life, supernatural, kind of like mystery show, but it's like a super easy watch. If you're into like that kind of story writing, it's animated wonderfully. A picture a show that's animated as good as Violet Evergarden, but actually a good show.
This dude's hate on Valley. I might have to just watch that show now just to see what the hate is about,
Yeah,
man.
I
Dang, you just
will.
don't like
Let
blonde
me have
women.
an no, because it lured me in. I thought it was going to be an excellent show, and I feel like I was watching the whole show waiting for it to get good. And it wasn't like a bad show;
It
it
was
just
just
wasn't good. It was really boring, start to
it was a
finish.
huge tease.
It was a huge tease, but they never paid off the slow march. Like it's just like the main character had PTSD from the war, was going through some stuff, and I'm like, oh, like they could really unpack this in a really like dope way. I feel like the story ended, and it was like, huh? Like there's more there.
What
There
now?
had to have been more there.
Watch Jason trash his anime so badly, but then when I go watch it, I'm gonna be like, it's a
It's
masterpiece.
the
It's
greatest
cinema.
thing
It's
I've
the
seen
best
in
thing in the
years.
world.
Nah, bro, you guys, nah, you're wrong.
So, I guess for me, I'm currently checking out. So it's fall. So there's only really three, four animes. I'm gonna let Jason talk about the fourth one, which is the one about the red violence woman protagonist. But the three that I wanted to bring up, one of them I thought was a little interesting. I was a little iffy on it, but I'm like, okay, I might check it out. It's called Sanda, which is about Santa Claus apparently. So
Is
the
it
way
new?
I yeah, it literally came out this season apparently. Yeah. Um, and the story is set in a near future Japan facing an era of extremely low birth rates. Children are treated as national treasures and are cared for and protected by adults in boarding schools. Santa Claus, who gives children hope and dreams, is considered a dangerous person and is targeted for elimination. On a snowy December 25th, middle school student Sanda's life is threatened by his classmate, and having learned that Sanda is a descendant of Santa Claus, she is hoping that she will get her wish granted. Her wish is to find her missing best friend, Ichi Ono. And so to protect the children, Sanda decides to become Santa Claus and fight against adults. And it's
I
made
would
by the
watch
same
that.
studio that's producing Dandadan. So
Wow.
expect some weird stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
That sounds like
Yeah.
goofy and fun.
Yeah. Just like in their wheelhouse. Yeah. So to me, I was like, but then when I watched the trailer, I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a chance. It seems a little interesting. Okay, low birth rate, so everyone's scared of like Santa Claus coming to town. I guess basically. So we'll check it
Such a
out. We'll check it
silly
out.
premise, though.
It is a silly premise. Another one that I thought that was pretty interesting was, and I heard some bumbling about it a little bit on Twitter. My status as an assassin obviously exceeds the heroes.
That's
Wait,
an
wait, wait,
isekai,
wait,
isn't
wait,
it?
wait. It sounds like a. If it's not an
That's
It is an
isekai,
isekai.
it's an
okay.
adventure show that set up like an isekai.
It's an isekai.
Yeah, it's an
I'm gonna add
isekai.
that
I
to my
believe
list
it's
right now.
it is actually what's the genre? Yeah, it's a light no, from a light novel. It is an isekai, fantasy adventure isekai. Yeah. So I think the difference with this one is, oh, I'll just read the description here. Oda Akira is the kind of guy who people forget is even there.
Damn.
His unassuming nature pays off though when his entire class is swept away to a fantasy world, and he slips easily into his new role as a silent assassin. Between his suspiciously high starting stats and too many details that don't fit him, Akira is sure something is wrong with him, but he doesn't know why. But digging into the world's secrets is a dangerous game. And when Akira uncovers an evil scheme, he also makes a powerful enemy, the very king who brought him into this world for a specific, unsure purpose. With the help of the elven spirit medium Amelia, can he find the power to set things right and get his revenge? So what this isekai sounded differently to me was that the entire class is now in this new world, and they all get their roles based on, I guess, their personality in the other one.
That was Alpharetta, the world's strongest too.
Really?
The whole class got
Oh.
isekai'd into the show.
Hmm.
Do you want me to just explain it?
I'm
Enough.
not gonna lie.
I'll shut up. I don't want to.
No, it's fine. I mean, to me, I think that was actually a very interesting way to use that trope because now instead of just him, it's the whole class. And I watched a video of Mother's Basement talking about it after I already like picked the show out and everything. He was diving a little bit deeper into it, and it sounds like we're gonna see a lot of like rivalry and tension between everybody because they're gonna start having factions and their own beliefs and philosophies, and they're some of them might see a new opportunity in this world they didn't get in the past, and some of them might take advantage. Some might get advantaged of. Like it sounds like it's gonna be a really big
Depending
focus
on
on the
straws they get drawn.
yeah, and it sounds like they actually focus a little bit too on the world they came from. Like, so it sounds like it's gonna be a focus on obviously the fantasy world and the world building, but also how were they in the human world before they transferred as well. That's what it sounds like to me.
That sounds
So
really dope, bro.
so I'm ready to watch it. Yeah.
Because
So
I think that's why I like isekai so much now.
why?
Because you can write a
Oh, who's that?
story. Because the number of directions you can go with the story is way more open. Because
Yeah.
even though they almost all live in high fantasy.
Because back then it really did get stale because you was trying so hard to like get an audience, so you had to kind of like stick to like the numbers. But now, like you said, like isekai is such a popular genre that you can play around with it if you want to, do whatever you want. So I agree.
Especially
Um,
after ReZero legitimized isekais. Like on the
well,
grand stage.
when we do that isekai episode, definitely
I'm
highlight how
sorry.
much
I'm getting
ReZero
ahead
changed the
of
game,
myself.
bro. No, it's
Dude,
true.
I
It's
feel like I
true.
went through character development during this pod because I think when we first started, I was such a hater.
But now you're realizing. Now you're realizing.
And then
So
I was like, I don't hate him, I don't love him, and I was like, nah,
That's all you watch.
it's not
well, that's
all
all
I
you're watching
watch.
now.
It's about 60% of what I watch.
You had a stretch of like just an isekai run. Like you was
Dude,
going heavy.
I've been adding shows that I watched. I'm going through my Crunchyroll history and adding shows to my anime list, and I'm like completed. I think I've seen at least 20 isekais this summer.
My gosh, 20?
I
I saw
know,
probably two.
but they're all like 12 episodes, so you just knock them out like
Oh, that
that.
makes sense.
Like it's
Like
not
One
like
Magician.
One Piece.
Yeah.
And mind you, I still watched like 100 episodes of One Piece this summer.
Dang,
That should
dude.
tell you how
Did you
much
go
this man
outside?
has watched. No, he did not.
He didn't go outside at all this summer. He didn't do
Y'all
nothing.
know I
don't
went
blame
outside a
him.
lot. I went outside too much this summer.
I
I
don't know
wish
how
I
you
was
balance,
inside
bro.
more.
Like me and Malcolm, we be inside. We just don't do
Mhm.
nothing.
Nah, because
Ever.
every time I go outside, I had this like I swear every time I leave the house, I gotta spend money, bro. Like being inside is the most financially responsible thing you can do in this economy,
Yeah. And you
bro.
gotta pay rent, so
Dang near
like
all of us got
enjoy it.
high speed internet and like some type of even if you don't got a TV, someone's got like a laptop or something to watch TV, something on, play game on or whatever, and it's $0 and 0 cents.
Oh snap.
Yeah, I think you
Wait,
froze for a
Malcolm, can you hear
second.
Jason?
Yeah.
I can
Hey,
hear
I
you.
froze. Yeah, you guys froze for me. Okay, good. Who I got scared.
Me and Malcolm
But yeah,
were
go ahead, Jason.
live.
Yeah,
I think it was
yeah.
just you. No,
Oh,
that was
okay,
it.
got you.
Stay inside.
But
Save your money.
stay inside, save
And
your
then
money,
watch.
and watch what?
Oh,
that
Doctor
was-
Stone
that
this
was-
season was gas.
that was-
Doctor
that was your-
Stone this season.
That was your transition. That was like,
My fault. And watch. Don't watch Helsing. Don't do that one. Don't watch that. What I will say is watch Spy X Family if you're looking for something nice and cozy for the fall
okay,
and everything like that. Because
that is.
I
fair.
still haven't finished that mug, bro.
you should. Jason doesn't like anything that requires like
I saw
relaxation.
season 1 and I saw the
look like,
movie.
both
Both great.
Yeah, it's good. It's not. If you want,
Bro,
something
I
really
told you I
chill
watched
and,
Secrets of the Silent Witch. That's like a cozy show.
you know. No one
Dude,
cares
I
about
watch
that.
Holic. It doesn't get cozier than that.
I don't even know what Holic is. I feel like you just had a slur at me. So anyway, what I was saying was
I
Spy X
showed it to
Family.
you when you came over.
I remember Holic. I remember it. I remember it. Um, Crap,
Quit
what was I saying? Oh
gaslighting
yeah,
me.
Spy X Family is really dope because it's really fun if you're looking for a good family adventure type of stuff, and if you have non-anime people that you want to get them into anime. Spy X Family is a very safe, cozy type of anime, so do that as you will with it. Another fall anime I would recommend is 100% Food Wars. Only by yourself. Do not have anybody else in the room with you. But the reason why I said Food Wars is because their food be scrumptious, especially during the autumn election arc, where all their food is based on fall, and it is so enticing to like see like the fall themed dishes that they come up with. So I'm just saying, Malcolm, don't give me that look. I'm just saying, Food Wars, even though it is low key etchy,
Malcolm, you watched both seasons of
if you get
Freezing. You ain't got no room.
right, exactly, and you made me watch Valkyrie Drive. So, and then and then
Dang.
food, and then Food Wars. I just watched Food Wars. Um, and I think for me, that's probably. Oh no, 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 no! I have one more anime that I'm gonna watch this season, and then I'm gonna pass it to Jason. Okay, this anime is called Dusk Beyond the End of the World. Okay, it's a romance sci-fi. So here's the description
And
for
this
it.
this season?
After waking, yeah, it's this season, came out this season. And the synopsis is after waking from a long cryogenic sleep, high school student Akira finds himself in a world he no longer recognizes. The city lies in ruins from war. Society is now governed by an organization called Owell, which is spelled W. I said, dang, I'm dyslexic. Owel. That's the spelling of it. And traditional marriage has been replaced by a new system known as Elsie. As Akira struggles to comprehend this drastically changed future, a familiar figure appears before him, Yuguri, who bears a strong resemblance to his girlfriend, Tuwasa. To his shock, Yuguri smiles gently and proposes, saying, Akira, please marry me, a stranger that he has no idea who she is. Confused by her sudden proposal, Akira agrees to travel with Yuguri, holding on to hope that somewhere in this world, the real Tuosa is still alive. Along their journey, they encounter the evolving forms of love in this new era and reflect on what their bond truly means.
All right, now put it in
You
your
liking it?
words.
No. So basically, how I understood it was crazy girl. Actually, let me take that back. Let me take that back. This world it's like Futurama in a way where like the guy Fry, he woke up from a crypto sleep into a to the future and is looking for for his girlfriend, but he can't find her anywhere because obviously he just woke up from like a cryo sleep. And then he bumps into this girl that resembles his girlfriend years back, and she just proposes to him to like marry him. And in his mind, he's thinking, okay, I'm gonna marry you because you resemble to my girlfriend who I just lost. So I'm assuming maybe he's grieving, and this is like his way of like denial that she passed away. So maybe he's just accepting to marry this girl who looks like his girlfriend, which is pretty weird. But he's hoping that while they're traveling this empty world together, he will find his girlfriend somewhere. And probably throughout the time of them traveling together, they bond over their love and interest and care for one another. And by the end, he will see her for who she really is and let go of his girlfriend, probably. Does it
Oh,
make sense? Heck
It
no.
makes sense.
But
In terms of you explained it well, it doesn't sound like a show I'm interested in watching.
that's fine. That's fine. This was a very, very maybe show. Like when I saw it, I was like, and even when I saw the trailer, I was like, I don't know,
I
but
think the other shows you mentioned
why
seem a
not?
lot more like interesting to me. Though.
Hey, but you don't like romance, Jason, or sci-fi, or anime.
I
So
literally recommended a rom com to you 2 days ago.
which one was it? You recommended me a lot of
Literally the
stuff.
one with the white hair and the red
Oh
dress.
yeah, 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 that's
The
right,
may
that's
I
right,
ask
that's
you
right.
for one more request or something like that?
First of all, that was on my list before you even came to me, Jason.
I
I'm on my
didn't know
anime grind,
that, so
dog.
your point is mute.
You can't put me on to something I'm already on.
I didn't
Pause.
say I put you. I didn't say I put you onto the show. I just said that I'm. I recommended a rom com, which means I
He
still
did.
do watch romance shows. I just they're not my bread and they're not like my go to right now. I've mainly been
That makes
watching
sense.
fantasy shows,
That makes
but
sense.
now I'm
Okay,
slipping back into
cool.
like slice of life. I started watching a show called Space Brothers.
What the heck is Space Brothers about?
It's a show
Don't
about two
don't tell
brothers who
me.
want to go to the moon. It's really funny and kind of heartwarming.
Malcolm.
I just kind of rolled the dice on it one evening because I was like, I
And you
need.
like it too.
No, you know what it was? I feel like I had. You know when you have just too much of something, just a little bit more than enough. And you're like, I need to take a short break. I needed like something to cleanse my isekai palette, bro, because I had overdone it at that point.
Yeah, high
The
school
second
DxD.
I'm,
Yeah.
I the second I almost finished season one of Reincarnated as a vending machine, I knew I needed to take a break from isekai.
Why'd you watch that show, Jason?
Because he
I
was just
I was
he has an
watching
addiction. He has an
anything,
addiction.
bro. You know what
That's
I
really
was
what it
doing,
is.
bro?
Let's be honest.
I'm not addicted to isekai, but I was compulsively watching them. Because
Mm-hmm.
you know what it was?
Mm-hmm.
I watched enough of them like in a row to start seeing certain trends. And then you know when you like have enough of something, you like now you can kind of tell what's like a good and not good. Where after a while, like when in the very beginning, it's kind of like, oh, this is just like this, and that's just that. But you realize, like I see these tropes are more and more clear, and I'm seeing like, oh, this show used that trope to subvert my expectations. Did something curious with it, like ReZero. I can appreciate ReZero that much more because I've been watching sloppy Sekai, and I can see just how many things that they went out of their way to bait and switch you, and then also just write a fantastic story. Long story short, I watched a slice of life on a whim because it seemed interesting.
And you wanted to watch a slice of life about two men. That's crazy, Jason.
You had to say it like that,
That's
bro.
wild.
Insane.
That's not. You know what it was? It was recommended to me on Mother's Basement a while ago, and I added it to my list like half a year ago. And I just wasn't in the
Oh,
mood for
really?
it. And I finally got around to say, you know what? Let's watch something that's not fantasy. And I
That
just
makes
clicked
sense.
it. But by the end of the first episode, like the writing was just like so distinct and like grounded. I was like, this is like refreshing for me because all I've been watching is
This
isekai.
that's very important too. That there's so many animes that I've dropped that I probably shouldn't have dropped. I probably should just realize back in the day, like you know what, I'm probably not in the headspace for this genre. Like One Punch Man is still something I still have not watched to this day because I
Wow.
was not in the headspace to absorb it, and because I was looking for like serious shonen, like battle shonen. But One Punch Man is battle shonen, but like it was very gag like, and I wasn't ready for that mentally, so I just dropped it. I was like, I'm
One
not
Punch
gonna
Man isn't
watch it.
really a battle shonen for real though.
Oh, it's not. Oh, well,
I
I'm
feel
sorry.
like in the same way Dandadan is more of a rom com and then it's supernatural. One Punch Man is more of a comedy satire and then it's a battle shonen.
Mm. So like Gintama in a way, basically.
Yeah, like Gintama. Except
Okay.
Gintama is more like you know the Family Guys of anime, where it's
Of
constantly
anime.
self-referential. Like you have to be a straight up anime head to even get half the jokes. They're like always referencing
Mm.
stuff, which is why they're always getting sued.
So so to prove my street, my anime cred, I should watch Gintama to see how much of it I get.
If
Basically.
you don't get any of the jokes in Gintama, it's probably because you weren't watching enough of the main anime that was popular around the time that part of Gintama was airing.
Dang.
Because they're making
But it also
Toriko
makes it very
jokes, they're
niche. Yeah.
making Bleach references, they
Mm.
loved making Michael Jackson jokes.
That
That's a
makes
pretty
sense.
consistent through line. Because I got like 100 episodes into Gintama.
Dang.
Yeah.
Did you watch the movie when it came out? The final movie? The end?
No, I just am not in the mood for Gintama. I haven't been in the mood for Gintama for a couple of years now. I'm just waiting till I'm in the mood for it, and then I'll
Oh,
get back up.
that makes sense. That's fair. That's fair.
If it
Okay.
was in dub, it would be a different story. It's just
It's not in dub?
no, none of it is.
Wow. Wait, Gintama's not in dub at all? I'm surprised Gintama's not in dub.
Because I think it was way more
Wow.
popular in Japan than it ever was in the West.
That that makes sense. That's actually very fair. Okay. All
Where'd
right.
Malcolm
Tell
go?
me what you're watching. Ah, Malcolm went somewhere. Who knows? But yeah, what you watching, Jason, and
I
what's
kind
your
of want
fall
Malcolm here for
recommendations?
my. I can tell you what I'm watching, and then I'll give you my fall recommendations.
Okay.
All right, right now, I'm still watching Gachi Gata. It's a really cool show. It came out last season. It's continuing into this fall. I think it's a 24
Okay.
episoder, which I really appreciate
Okay.
because sometimes I feel like 12 episodes is too brief, and I kind of want that like.
That's fair. Yeah.
So the whole premise of Gachi Gata, it starts off with this kid named Rudo, and people do not like this kid because he has these really scary looking eyes. He has this like real like mean mug in his face, and he's not really good at socializing. And a lot of this is in part to the fact that he's been treated poorly by his community. Mind you, he lives in the slums of this city, right? And the story starts off with
Mm.
him stealing trash and getting shot at for it. And then he makes it away, and then he makes it back home, and his like adopted father, we find later, comes up to him and is just like, "Oh, Rudo, did you go and try to steal trash again? You're not supposed to do that. You could really get in trouble if you get caught." And he's like, "I know, but like I can't bear it. Like they're throwing away all these things that are just perfectly fine. They just need a little bit of like fixing or just a little bit of a polish. Just tweak it a little bit, put a screw in it, just something to like make it work again. But they're just so willing to throw things away." And then like
Yeah.
long story short, the premise of this show is like if you take care of the things that you have, then those things will develop a soul and love you back or something like that. It's like
Oh,
it
that's
seems
nice.
weird, but it's almost like the show is a critique on the wastefulness. You could almost say like advanced or industrial nations. Like you can almost say that about us here in the
Mm.
states. Like this idea of like, oh, it's not working the way that I want to. And like in the show, they showed like a clip of this mother and her daughter and this like stuffed animal with a slight tear in like the bunny ear or whatever. And she's like, "Oh no,
Mm.
it's like not working." And the mom was just like, "That's fine, just throw it away. We'll get you a new one." Throws it away. That's what not Recto, Rudo finds, fixes, and then brings back. He ends up fixing it up, and then he gives it to this girl that he likes. Right? She protects Rudo from the bullies because she's kind of like, he's a nice kid. He's just a little bit weird, but I like him. We all grew up together in the same slums or whatever. Because there's an inner part of the city
Mm.
with all the rich city people, and then there's the outer part of the city with all the slums. And like,
Yeah.
it's almost like Hunger Games ish. You know what I mean? Like with the people in the capital and then the districts.
Yeah.
And essentially, you find out that Rudo's father was apparently a murderer, and everyone assumes that he's going to become one too. So they almost treat him with bias based on that. They'd be like, "Yeah, you look just like a murderer, just
Mm.
like your father. We're just waiting for you to mess up so we can throw you out into the pit." Because they're this
Dang.
this city is on this floating island essentially, and there's this part where they just dump trash out constantly, and there's this overhanging cliff where if you are punished for a certain crime, if you like do some capital offense, like
Mm.
attack someone from the capital, like the well-to-do part of the city,
Yeah.
or murder, any like major crime, right? You'll get thrown in the pit. AKA, we're gonna throw you out like trash too, which is a
Mm.
huge part of Rudo's trauma. And then at the end, the Rudo gives the stuffed animal to the girl. She's like really enjoy. She's like, "Oh, this is so nice." Blah blah blah. He's happy. He's blushing. He's socially awkward. Doesn't know what to do with it. He's running home. He's sprinting home. Man, I can't wait to tell Regto, his adopted father. I can't wait to tell Regto about this. He shows up. He's expecting Regto. Does a thing where you open the door and then it shows what they expected
Mm.
to see. He was expecting Regto to make a joke or tease him about being like bad with talking to the girl he likes. Wrong. You see Recto in there. There's like a knife in his chest and he's bleeding out.
Mm.
And then everything just goes like dark. Rudo's like, what the heck happened? Blah blah blah. And then like Recto's like, run away from here right now. Like get away because you're gonna get blamed for this if you stay here. Rudo's in complete shock. He's like, I can fix this. I can heal you. Just we need to get some help. He's yelling for help. The person who did murder him shows up with this creepy looking mask on and like a hood. And then like Rudo tries to chase after him, but by the time Rudo leaves that part of the room and gets to the entrance, the guards from the city show up, obviously looking for Rudo
Mm.
because
Yeah.
someone stole something from the trash in the beginning of the
Right.
episode. That was Rudo. They find him. They see the dead body there. He already has a reputation of being a murderous son, and they essentially blame the murder of his adopted father on him. He's sitting there like, it wasn't me. I'm telling you, there was this guy in a mask, blah, blah, blah. Like, you guys had to believe me. Everyone's out here like, look at this guy. He's trash. We should throw him in the pit. And then he looks over and he sees that girl that he liked, that he was friends with. And she's holding the little teddy bear that he fixed for her and he gave her. And then you just see this look of disgust in her face. After he looks at her, she looks at him. She gazes away in disgust and throws the stuffed animal thing on the ground. And it just hits like a pile of mud. And then at that time, they cut the ropes and he falls into the pit. And he's out here like, man, everybody, I'm going to kill everybody in this mug. Falls into the pit, blacks out, manages to survive the fall, and then bam, end of episode 1. The show starts. The show starts off with a right hook. I love this show. I'm on episode. It's on episode 14 right now. It can get pretty dark, but the whole idea of the show is just like there's a lot of people that are hurt in this world where these people in this sky island or sky city or whatever are recklessly and haphazardly just dumping trash into the world. And so the majority of the actual surface of the earth is uninhabitable because of all the trash.
Apparently, I heard on anime Twitter that there's a lot of people happy about the fact that there are black characters in this anime and they actually are represented well.
There are a lot of really dope, like well-designed black characters in the show. There's no doubt about that. Okay. The representation is A1, both on the villain side and on the hero side, on the indifferent side, just regular old characters. These characters look really like... You ever see like a show when, and the best way you can describe the animation or art style is like, this has a lot of spunk?
Yeah.
Like Soul Eater, like Air Gear, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like this show has a lot of style. Like our style is super, super distinct. It's like really good.
Good.
Really, really solid. Yeah. So been watching Gashigata. Been watching this isekai called. It's not even worth mentioning.
I don't even want to know. I want to make a comment. 2 comments. One, I heard everything. I was here. You know, I just have a dog that likes to just do things. So. But I literally heard everything. Don't worry, Jason. I was not going to miss anything. Second of all, his dad definitely was not a murderer. That was just going to be the plot twist of what's happening.
You think that's what's going to be? I'm interested because we don't know anything about his biological father except for the fact that his father was executed, aka thrown in the pit for murder. Watch it be his father survived being thrown in the pit too. Ooh, that would be a crazy plot twist. It just crossed my mind just as you said that. Because it didn't even cross my mind earlier. But Rudo's goal is to get back in the sky somehow, some way, and get revenge on everyone in that city for throwing him away. But he's also just a young teen, really. And he's just trying to like make a way in this dangerous world. Anyways, totally recommend it. I think it's one of the better shows that came out this summer. I think it's just definitely one of the better shows. To my surprise, Ugly Mug Epic Fighter isn't rated as high.
Yeah, people did not talk about that as much from.
Dude, I saw it on my anime list. It has like a 6.8. I was surprised it wasn't above 7. But then there are a lot of shows that I think should be 5s that are like rated 7 too. I think people naturally want to give everything a 7.
Because 7 is like the safe rating of like, you enjoyed it. You may not know why you enjoyed it, but you just know you enjoyed it.
That's why I give things 6 for. It means it's fine. 6 means fine.
Yeah.
5 means average. Ugly Mug Epic Fighter is a hilarious show.
And I'll confirm or disagree with your thoughts when I watch it.
I think it's worth a watch. It's a very easy watch. It's lighthearted enough, but the plot is like interesting, subverts my expectations, and I laughed out loud a couple times. So take it with a grain of salt. Okay. Been watching a Campfire Cooking in Another World. Isekai, not worth mentioning.
Why is that?
It's just like your old standard isekai. He shows up in a world. He makes his mind about what he wants to do in this world. In his case, he wants to live a quiet life. He makes some food. Apparently, he has the other people who got summoned in the world with him have actual skills. He has the appraiser skill, which is useful. He has the skill of online shopping. So he can use
What?
his currency to buy
What?
things from a regular old online shop skill. It's a dumb show. I told you it's not worth mentioning, but no, you made me say anything about it.
Okay, just
It's
get
just
to the
a
point.
it's a good. I just said it was a. Anyways, it's a very like put it in the background when you're bored kind of show. Kaiju number 8, season 2 is gas. Gotta watch it. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to give any spoilers. I already told you I was watching Space Brothers. I've been watching a ton of One Piece. Ugly Mug Epic Fighter is good, but I'm not trying to sell that right now. James is gonna laugh at me.
What's the show there? What was the thing you were can't wait to like say that I had to be here?
Oh, I didn't want to get into my fall recommendation, so I just went into what I'm watching right now.
Oh,
Then
okay.
there's the May I Ask for One Final Thing show. And I'm going to read the synopsis really quickly. It says Scarlett has put up with her fiance's bullying for long enough. Not only is the second Prince Kyle arrogant and crude, but he suddenly called off the engagement during a ball in front of everyone, mind you, in front of all the nobles. A lot of them are corrupt, by the way. And if things couldn't get any worse, then he accuses her of crimes she never committed. AKA, he says, you've been like bullying this other girl that I'm actually in love with this whole time and being a jerk and all this other stuff. Plus, you're cold hearted and hard to get along with, even though he was denigrating her constantly. Fueled by the betrayal, Scarlett unleashes her rage. She's been penting up her anger for years, dealing with his crap, giving the prince and his nobles a beat down they'll never forget. She beats the brakes off of everybody. The first thing she did after he called out the engagement, she said, "Can I ask for one thing?" And he was like, "No way. What do you think you're doing?" And then the girl that pretty much stole the second prince from her, even though she didn't ever want to be engaged with the second prince, she was just like, "Oh, you should at least give her this one thing." And then he was like, "Oh, you're so sweet. I guess I'll give you one request." And she was like, "Oh, can I clock this?" He essentially called her a raggedy behind bee in front of all the nobles. Everyone's like, "Oh, how could she say such language?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And then she like cocks back her fist and she rocks the mess out of this chick, bro. She flies like 10 meters, knocked out immediately, bleedy face. And then she turns around and literally beats every last noble in the room one by one. And as she's beating them up, they're panicking and also like committing, like admitting a bunch of crimes. Like one of them's just like, "Oh my gosh," like pretty much just showing how crappy they are. They're pretty much saying stuff like, "Oh, like please somebody save me. I'll let you like have my wife." And it's just like, what the heck? He's like, "I'll marry off both my daughters to you. Someone please help me." Another one was just like, "I'll sell you. I'll give you 3 of my slaves." No, 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 4 of my slaves. Slavery is illegal in this kingdom, but obviously nobles have a way of getting around rules, and it's hard to find proof that they're doing things and actually charge them. She beats them up so bad that they're all panicking in tandem, essentially spilling their own guts. A ton of them got. She beats every last one of them in order, and then walks to the prince, and then she gives this man the solid, like the most solid right hook, knocks this man out immediately, and that's the end of the first episode. It is hilarious. It's great. And I watched all 3 episodes that are out. I think the most recent one came out like 2-3 days ago. It's in dub as well, dub and sub. So it's an action comedy fantasy. And essentially, the plot continues with her, the first prince, who's actually a decent prince, cracking down on essentially upper class crime within the nobility, while at the same time navigating this kind of rom com vibe. But it's pretty good. I would recommend that this fall. As far as shows that are fall shows that I would recommend Soul Eater. It's definitely a good fall vibes show. It's super gothic and it's like style, like with like the pumpkins and like the creepy moon and all that. It's definitely like Halloween vibes if you celebrate Halloween. Secrets of the Silent Witch just came out this summer. Also fantastic. I'm not going to say anything about it. Spice and Wolf is a classic. They reanimated it very faithfully a few years ago, and it's really good. Whether you want to watch the original one that came out in like 2011 or whatever, or the new one, up to you. But I would recommend Soul Eater, Secrets of the Silent Witch, and Spice and Wolf as fall shows to watch this fall. And then if it's
And
this
that's a
season,
shoujo, right?
Spice and Wolf.
Yeah.
Spice and Wolf isn't really a shojo. It's kind of like a slice in life, slightly supernatural show that follows this traveling merchant and this fox god who takes the form of a human
Mm.
and travels with him as they just kind of navigate like things in the country and stuff like that. I don't really want to give it away. I think it's a very like nice, slow, but like narratively rich, like medieval set show
Yeah.
to watch in the fall. Secrets of the Silent Witch just dropped. Animation is fantastic. The character writing is really sweet, and Soul Eater,
Mhm.
one of my favorites. I think is good for the fall as well.
Ooh, okay. All right, nice. So that sounds like we got what we're watching. Jason, more than us, obviously. Jason's about to have a whole 20 show season, basically.
I don't know about
Um,
that.
I, I only have five, and Malcolm has a
One
half.
for now. For now,
I'm
I
about to
will
have
be
a
back next
20
week.
show season.
No,
No. Wait, Malcolm, what'd you say? You say you
I
have.
will be
you have-
back next week with more recommendations or things I'm watching. Probably more so.
Nice.
That is my one goal. I want y'all to keep me
Oh,
I
accountable.
want you to finish 2 shows this year.
That is fair.
2 shows. And also, I just want to throw it out here, too. If you want another fall uh, theme show to watch as well, I highly recommend the good old fashioned classic Law and Order. Good, cozy, in New York City.
This man
I'm
said
joking.
cozy and then said Law and Order.
Have you ever
What are you
watched an
on,
episode of
bro?
Law and Order? Is that like a show
It's
you
cozy.
want to watch?
So,
it's the
here's-
opposite
okay,
of a
side-
cozy show.
Side note, I've watched like snippets of Law and Order throughout my life, but
Oh, wow.
2 weeks ago was the first because Hulu now has the whole show, so it's the first time I actually was able to watch all of Law and Order. So I put it on like when when I'm going to bed or whatever, stuff like that. There's nights where I literally stay up for like an extra 2 hours because the episodes are really good. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute,
You realize
this is
it's been
actually
on for
really
almost
engaging.
30 years for a reason. Like it's
I know,
good
but like
show.
I thought I
I've
was
never watched
I
Law
did-
and Order. I've only seen clips in passing.
It's a great show.
You know what I'm
Because
trying to
Law and
watch?
Order
I'm trying to
was-
watch House MD. That's what I'm trying to watch.
Yes,
Because I've
House,
heard
yeah.
no shortage of good recommendations or people just saying House MD is that show. And every clip I've ever seen is just like, this guy is the GOAT.
I can tell you right now, as someone who's watched the first 6 episodes of the show and nothing more,
Of House MD?
it
or
is
Law and
definitely
Order?
like that of House MD. How like that is
Is it on
literally
Hulu?
the show. Yeah, it's on Hulu. It's on Hulu. I
Is
think
it
it's on
on-
Hulu. I think I watched it on Hulu. Yeah, I want to say it's on Hulu.
I never know what
House
anything's on
MD.
anymore. It would be really convenient if it was on Netflix, but I don't think it's on there.
It is. It's on. It's on Hulu, Disney Plus, and apparently Amazon Prime.
I
And
got Disney.
Peacock.
I got Disney Plus logged in on my TV. I guess I'll watch it on there.
We
You
how
watching
did
House
we?
MD?
I was going to say, how do we get into this tangent? And we were not.
It's because
we're not
this
even
man
talking
talked about
Talking Law and Order.
Law and Order, a cozy TV
Hold
show.
on,
Get
hold
this
on, hold
man.
on.
Fine.
Which Law and Order are you talking about though? Are you talking about
Special
just
Victims Unit.
SVU is the best. It's fantastic.
Yes.
So you
there's
think
something
I
about,
should
like,
watch Law and Order this fall?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
cozy.
recommend it for the fall, but like it is a
I
good
would,
show.
what other season would you recommend Law and Order where it's like there's murder?
I mean, it's not a
New York
seasonal
City?
show. Like I just don't think of it as a
It's-
seasonal show.
It's not. It's not a seasonal show, but, screw
are
it.
you
I'm
telling me to
there.
watch Law and Order? Is what you're telling me?
Law and Order
No.
Special Victims Unit is so there's Law and Order, that's the original one that came out in like 1995. Then there's Law and
Yeah.
Order, then there's like a couple spin-offs, Law and Order SVU, which is Special Victims Unit. They specialize in rape and other heinous crimes like that. Then there's Criminal Intent, which is a different spin-off. Those are like the three main Law and Orders. And you have a
Yeah.
couple
Criminal
others.
Intent good?
It's good too.
I've never.
I think
heard
that
of it.
stopped airing though a while ago.
Because I heard about SVU
That only had, like, 10
definitely,
years.
and I've heard about the original.
And now,
I've never heard of the Criminal Intent one.
Mm.
I never heard of Criminal Intent either. That sounds really interesting too. But like he's right. The
How
Special
does it
Victims Unit is
compare
pretty
to
interesting.
NCIS?
They are because they're both crime dramas.
Because I watched
they're probably
a good
the two
season of NCIS a while ago,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I really enjoyed it.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
how
y'all
does
want to
that
talk about
compare-
anime? I watched 15 seasons of NCIS, so I'm
So
deep into that. And
where does NCIS compare with Law and Order SVU? If you had to rank them, rank them. I don't know if I know it's not like apples to apples, but I'm pretty sure they're in the same genre.
they're both crime shows. I would say Law and Order is more episodic. The characters are obviously the same, and like you get to like interact with the characters a lot, but it's not like there isn't a big overarching story. Where NCIS, they have different moments where different episodes are different, obviously, but then a lot of times they have an overarching plot for the season, or whether it's a giant
Mm.
terrorist attack or something like that, or just something along those lines, and or they're trying to catch a extreme serial killer or whatever. So like that's probably like one of the bigger differences. But they're both really well written. They're probably the two most main
Most
crime
prominent crime
shows.
dramas.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
common crime show that. So I think they're both really good. I would
So if you
recommend them.
had to
Another.
give me one of the two to watch, what would you have to
I'd
tell
watch
me?
NCIS. I'd watch NCIS if I were you.
All right,
Jason might like NCIS a lot more because of the overall story structure of
I
it.
do
But
love
I
long
like Law
form
and Order.
storytelling. I've
Mhm.
been
I like
binge
Law and
watching
Order
The Hunger
because there's some
Games.
episodes. The Hunger Games. Wait, the movies?
Yeah, I never watched them. So, and I got them. I got the Blu-ray
Oh,
kit on Amazon months ago because um, I just saw it. I knew it was on my list of movies to watch, and it was like a good deal. It was like $18 for like movies 1 through 4 on Blu-ray, and I was like, it doesn't really
ooh.
get better than that. So I bought it while it was on sale, and this week I've been watching it.
I mean,
I
that's good because
watched 1, 2, 3, and I'm on movie 4 now.
um, Hunger Games is coming out with another movie in March because
A
the
sixth
author
movie?
dropped the book. Yeah, sixth one. Yeah. It's so like it's obviously like she as soon as she dropped her book, they were immediately shooting the movie right afterwards. So it's they have some type of deal going on where she got a book going, they got the script already ready, and they're shooting it. So March next year is when it's releasing. The last movie was Hunger Games Songbirds
Isn't
and
it
Snakes,
based
I
off of
think.
President
Song
Snow? I heard.
It is. It's a prequel. I will just say this as someone who's only saw the first Hunger Games, then Songbirds, I didn't see nothing in between. I know, crazy, right? I will say this: I really, really enjoy Songbirds, and I only have one complaint about it, but besides that complaint, it is really good
When
movie.
I
I really
watch
enjoyed
it,
it.
I'm gonna call you and we're gonna talk.
Yeah, yeah, because I really did. I saw the movie twice in theaters. That's how much I liked it, even though it's long as ever. But it's still a really good movie.
Speaking of watching
So
things for a long time, what do you guys think of the 3 episode rule? Is it still valid?
Yeah.
no,
Oh wow.
no.
I
Okay.
think it is.
Explain,
I think
James.
it is more now than ever. Actually,
So at first, I agree with you guys, but then I thought of it more, and I'm like, there's I think I want to say there's two key reasons on why I might say the 3 episode rule to me is no longer valid. The first thing is um, time. Time is for me of the essence nowadays, and I don't know for a whole season if I can have a 3 episode rule for a bunch of animes I want to consume. I realized as I got older that a lot of content, whether it's movies, TV shows, or anime, unless you guys recommend it or like close people recommend it to me, I'm just going straight to my anime list or somewhere online and trying to see what's the average rating of it. Because I don't want to watch 3 episodes of hot dog water dookie butter. But that's the first one. So time. The second reason is because I don't even think the structure of a 3 episode rule makes sense anymore. And here's the reason why too. Nowadays, animes are told, well, mangakas are told now to get straight to the point basically in the first episode. Very rarely will you see, very rarely nowadays will you not get the gist of the premise of the show outside of episode one. You can take Clevitus, you can take Water Magician, you can take um, any modern Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man. You can say any popular shonen or slice of life or whatever nowadays. And by the end of the first episode, they are trained now to get to the point immediately. So I don't think I need a 3 episode rule anymore because the first episode will already tell me from the beginning, hey, This is the show. What do you think? And I can sit there as the reader and say no, or I could say carry on. Let's see what you got. So that's why I feel like back then you had to, because back then it was the culture was different. Back then you was able to have breathing room to really build out your dynamics of the characters and the world and really like plant seeds and everything like that. You was able to take your time, you know. Nowadays, because of our short attention span and the struggle of just everything can get your attention from all sorts of the world, you have to show me immediately why I should care about your content. And that's why I think the 3 episode rule no longer is valid.
So long story short, you just have a shorter attention span. That's really just how you explain that.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, basically, it's less about me having a short attention span,
No,
but
you,
it's more
you
so the
just
fact.
have a shorter attention
No,
span. That's what it is.
no, 'cause I can no. Listen, don't do that because you know I can watch long running anime. But what I'm saying though is that culturally now, there's no need for a 3 episode rule now because like not even a mangaka are following a 3 episode rule anymore or anime production.
Malcolm, what do you think?
They're going with 1 episode.
I was going to ask a follow-up question after you said that. Is this just strictly anime, or is this just all media, all like TV shows in general?
I was thinking in general, but mostly anime since that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead, Malcolm.
James, I like your argument for why anime specifically, so I'll concede to that. But in general, I think like there are like TV shows that are still probably coming out, or if you're watching older shows that you haven't watched before, I think you definitely need to still follow that like 3 episode rule.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like Steins Gate, you need the 3 episodes.
Steins Gate has like a 10 episode rule, bro. What are you talking about?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Nah, and that's one of your favorite shows, which is why I don't like your argument.
I know. I'm not. I'm saying no more now.
I
not
still
anymore
disagree.
now.
I still disagree. Even when we're talking about shows that are coming out
Okay.
now, I think I agree up until a certain point. I agree that because of people's attention spans being shorter, these shows are cramming all of the thesis in the first episode. They're doing that right now. I don't think I mind a show that starts off really strong. I mean, Attack on Titan did it. A bunch of other shows did it. And I think that's around the time when we started really seeing that transition to just like, let's hit them with the grisliest right hook we possibly can to get this story kicked off. But if the mangaka is framing the story that way, that's one thing if it's best adapted that way. But there are no shortage of stories that should have gotten a 3 to 5 episode rule, but because they're too busy trying to get to the flashy bits, i.e., you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Fire Force.
What? Fire Force? Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fire Force had a great start, but what it lacked was it didn't have the connective tissue and the slow build to get me attached to the character. It's really, really difficult to get you attached to characters that you don't know in a really short amount of time unless they are that distinct and you're that good a writer. Like there are excellent shows like Dandadan that like have you looked immediately. Even Soul Eater, a very straight punch, like no wasted time kind of show, had a handful of filler episodes, literally like 2 or 3. And when they started, they did a 3 episode prelogue because they said we need one whole episode just so you can see how this Meister and weapon pair work, and then that Meister and weapon pair work, and then that Meister and weapon pair work, and then we'll just jump right into the meat of the story. And that's exactly what they did, and that was considered fast back then. I feel like you can make that argument, but that assumes that every show is doing that, which isn't the case. Some shows still need the slow burn because of the type of story. And if we only write stories that can be shot off in one episode, and if you choose it, you choose it, and if you don't, you don't, then we're going to stop having a lot of those really deep, slower, meaningful shows because everyone just decided they're too lazy to like give something a shot. I think if you're going to give something a shot, just give it a shot all the way. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. I think the whole idea of like every show has to have a right hook first episode assumes that you're going to watch every show that comes out every season. But let's be real. We don't got time for that. Nobody has time for that. Who's watching every show every season? Not me.
No.
But if it catches you some other way, whether it be through recommendation, whether it be through the artwork or the title or the synopsis should be easy. what catches you, and the artwork should be what catches you.
Yeah, I agree. I think the synopsis, at the end of the day, you have to be engaged into the show. If I read a synopsis and it doesn't interest me, then I just won't watch it. You're right. But if I consume a synopsis, we'll take we'll take Dandadan. Perfect example. We'll just use Dandadan as an example. Dandadan synopsis intrigued me, and then I watched the first episode of Dandadan, and it gave me what this show was going to be about. It was going to be a supernatural horror with a rom com subplot into it. And it was going to be like this weird, like Turbo Granny was in the first episode. We had the scene of her weirdness, her creepy nature, her vibe. We had the dynamic between Okarum and Momo. We had the whole context of what the show was going to be the very first episode. And then once they finished that quick little intro arc about Turbo Granny, we then the author then balances with some slice of life comedy scenes while we transition to a whole nother arc. That is what I mean by we don't need a 3 episode rule no more, because I think now mangakas are now setting themselves up to where we punch you with a hook to engage you, grip you by the shirt and say, listen here. And then once they get you with the premise, then they can slow down. And I like what you brought up about I think I forgot which anime it was. You said it was an anime where they combined 2 episodes into one, basically, right? That's what you said,
I was
right? Am I
saying
hearing that
Soul
correctly?
Eater had a 3 episode setup, and then it jumped into the fourth
Yeah.
episode where the arc started. I think some shows do the thing where
Oh.
their pilot
Oh.
episode is an hour long, so you actually stick
Yes.
around long enough.
Yeah.
ReZero did that, where they had an
Yes. That's.
hour long
I'm
pilot
glad you brought that
episode
up. Yeah.
because if they had only done a 20-minute episode, I would say that it wouldn't have caught because you needed to get to that end of the episode before half of the
Yeah.
stuff that happened that seems like a waste of time in the first episode. All of it is extremely
Mm-hmm.
important, extremely meaningful, and every last bit of it builds into the lore of the overarching story. But my point is, just because
Yep.
you have a good right hook doesn't mean you don't need a 3 episode rule. Because again, sometimes that three right hook is just a hook, and the show is
That's
still
true.
70% jabs. You need
Yeah.
the 3 episode to get
Yeah.
a better overarching idea, not just a sampler of the high notes, which is what I think you're getting with these right hooks. Because the show can't
I
be
see what
like
you're saying.
the show
Mhm.
can't be like the pilot all the time. So the pilot actually isn't the
Right.
best representation of what you're going to get overall anyway. Some of the best episodes of Dandadan were nothing like the hook. The episode
That's true.
with the what's it, the mom, the pink hair girl, and
Oh,
then
the grandma. Yeah.
no, the pink hair girl and the other spirit with the red hair, with the
Oh yeah,
black
yeah. The
hair.
mom and the student. Yeah.
That whole 2 episodes resembled like almost none of the first episode of Dandadan, but it's
Yeah.
one of the best parts of the first season. Some people were saying it
I
was the
agree.
best episode of all the animes that came out that season, and I agree.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not even gonna get it. So I think the 3 episode rules still is valid. I don't think you need it for what you used to need it for, but I still think it is a better way to watch TV. And I also think it wouldn't kill people to just give things an actual honest try. And because if you watch a show thinking like, "Yo, this better entertain me in one episode," I'm like, "Who are you, bro? You're not drawing anything, animating anything. Like you're not.
That's
Half
fair.
of us aren't even artists."
Right.
And so it's just like it almost feels slightly entitled when you think
Oh
about
yeah,
the
it is
long
because
history of anime and art in general.
I think it's like I said, like the first reason was like time management, and then the second thing was about um crap, the change of the cultural change, basically, right? So what you're saying about the Donadon episode with the mother and the pink haired student, the biggest thing about that though is that by by the time we get to that point, we are now invested into the story. There is
But we had
when
just
Donadon
gotten
premieres.
invested to that character. That character just got introduced.
Right, the character just got introduced, but I'm not talking about what the author does in episodes 4 and 5. I'm talking about what the author does the first chapter, the first episode. Because what matters is you're not going to get everybody who watched John Donne first episode to continue. You're just not. There are some people who I've seen online who they saw the first episode, they said, a little weird, I'm gonna back out. That's fine. That's cool because you know why? The author didn't waste their time. The author said, "Hey, look, this is my story that I want to tell, and you're either with it or you're out. I'm not going to waste your time, and you're not going to waste my time with it, right?" And so, from my perspective, I appreciate that because the author's telling me up front that, hey, if you're looking for like this story and it's not the story that you want, bad luck. Okay, move on to somewhere else. But now I'm gonna take this hook that I gave you and I'm gonna throw, like you said, some jabs and everything like that. But it's going to be, I'm already invested now. Now I'm like, oh, I like this. Okay, what else do
And
you
so
have
you
for me,
think
author? Let me see what else you have.
the first episode.
Yeah,
So you're gonna stick with the fact that you think the 3 episode rule is obsolete. Is that what you're saying? That it's completely obsolete. Is that what you're saying? Because I
I
won't
will say
argue
this.
that you can
Hold,
get by
hold,
without it. I
hold on, let me say
still
this. Let
don't
me
think
say
it's
this.
the better way.
I am willing to concede that there are some genres of anime that you might need the 3 episode rule for.
Like,
And a good example would be a slice of life. I think a slice of life is fair to still have a 3 episode rule because of its natural slow pace of how it's structured. Like it's a slice of life, right? So you're not expecting to be hit with everything you need to know the first episode. That's not the point of a slice of life, right? But I do think shows, here's the best way I'll say it. Shows that are plot heavy, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, kind of sort of if you wanted to, Attack on Titan, ReZero, Dandadan, those plot heavy shows where you're kind of like, because the plot of Dandadan to begin is like you got to find a dude's balls, right? So you kind of have to get engaged with the plot in order to continue forward. But stories where it's like fruit baskets and the quintuplets and all this other stuff, you don't really need, you don't need to have the first episode to give you all of that. You are willing to spend
it
some
would
time
almost
because it's
ruin it
more
if it
slower
did.
pace. Right, and those are character driven. Those are more focused on the dynamics of the characters and the cast. That's what's making you come back each week.
Almost all of anime is
Whereas I
character
feel like
driven by context.
true,
Like it's just
yes,
part of the
I agree.
very mega. Like that's what makes it more distinct from American comics.
Right, that's fair. That's fair, and I agree with you on that one. I do think though that for shonen, we'll just take shonen as an example. Shonen genre, for example, is more plot heavy when you're more pulled in. Like I guess all the examples that I brought up, they all require you to buy into the story. My Hero Academia is about a world of superheroes, and you have this down on his luck kid who has no powers, but he could potentially get a power, and he's about to go to school. Boom. The plot is right there, and the plot is intriguing for you. Whereas for a slow slice of life, like I don't know. I guess I'll just say Fruit Basket, where it's about some random girl who meets a supernatural beings or whatever. That doesn't necessarily cater to a plot because you, to be honest with you, you don't even know the freaking plot of Fruit Basket until probably the end of season one. To be honest with you,
Honestly,
because like
I
it's
still
really,
didn't get it until like
I still don't know the
I
plot.
got,
Yeah,
I
to be
got
honest,
all the way through season 1 of the original Fruits Basket.
yeah,
Hear me out. Hear me
yeah,
out. I saw all the way through the season 1 of the original Fruits Basket, and it almost started and finished almost entirely without any supernatural elements, except for the fact that people were turning
yep,
into animals, and that was it. And mind you, it didn't get reanimated until almost 20 years later. By then, I'm like,
yep,
I watched it in high school, like middle school. So for me, it's like,
yeah,
dude, it's been 10 years since I watched this show. I'm not picking this back up.
yeah.
I
I
will
agree.
concede. I
So
think your points are right. I think a lot of shonen don't need a 3 episode rule anymore. My Hero Academia is better the way that it was. If they had meandered that first episode, it might not have been as good. But I have a counter
yeah,
question. They're redoing One
hmm.
Piece. They're reanimating it from the top in an abridged fashion, almost like a Full Metal versus Full Metal Brotherhood. Do you think One Piece would be better if they right hooked it? Because One Piece did not right hook One Piece at all. Right, One Piece did not do the one episode
And
at all. It
okay,
was a very steady start, and it was just a very steady, fun journey with
I'm
really
gonna ask.
deep, like, um,
That's true. That is
would
fair.
you rewrite it with a right hook? Since it is about to become new
I
school and the 3 episode rule is invalid for shonen
so
specifically.
my question would be towards Malcolm. I think Malcolm
You
will
don't
be the
even like
best
One
case study.
Piece.
Yeah, no.
Malcolm, if one hold on, if One Piece does do this, well, they are doing the remake, and it's gonna be made by the same studio who did like the first three seasons of Attack on Titan, right? They are already saying that they're gonna make it a seasonal, like 25 episodes. They're gonna condense it. They're saying it's not gonna be like 1,000 episodes. The series might be in total maybe 200, 250 episodes when it's all said and done. Do you feel personally that you need One Piece remake episode one to come in with a right hook to change it, or are you fine with the more adventure flow of take your time building your characters in your world? Dang, pressure. You okay,
Worst
buddy?
timing for this. No, I don't like the characters in One Piece, so it wouldn't change really anything for me.
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
think One
I was hoping that you would give me
Piece's
some
slow
perspective.
start is actually a really good representation of what you're getting. So you need that 3 episode rule. And I
But
think
it doesn't
One
count
Piece
though.
would be changed in its entirety
Oh yeah, 100%.
if
Yeah.
it started off hot
Oh yeah.
like that. I think, Malcolm, this is a question
Yeah.
for you. Malcolm, do you think Naruto could be rewritten to be a right hook starter?
It wasn't already.
It definitely wasn't.
It was not, dude. Come on, bro. Be
I
honest.
think it could, because I think the way that Boruto started was lit. And then it sucked
That
for
is
like
true.
80 episodes straight.
Yeah, basically.
And Shippuden
I,
started really hot too.
It did. It did.
And then you had a dope time skip thing, and everyone got their new like fits on, and people were showing off their new jutsus.
Yeah.
It was really dope, but it wasn't fast. It wasn't. It wasn't no right hook.
Yeah, it wasn't fast.
yeah.
That's
There
fair.
was nothing
Yeah,
fast about any of this stuff, man.
That's why.
These are journey shows. Like these are shows made to be long journeys. So to start off with the right
Adventure.
I
hook
mean, My Hero
and then
Academia
have
is a
500
journey.
more. Yeah, but it's how many
That's
episodes
true.
is it? Like 130 versus
Yeah, probably like
500,
100 something.
600 episodes?
Let's be
700,
real.
800?
Naruto could have been like 300 episodes less,
It could have been.
easily,
It could have
and
been.
for the better.
Could have.
And mind you, I'm talking about animes from 2010 and above because you're right. Because mind you, culturally things were different too. We was more accepting of long running stuff back then, right? Like even I think even
Hunter x
Death Note,
2011.
which was a 24.
No, Hunter had a
Say
right.
again?
Death Note had a right hook. Hunter 2011.
Yeah, I guess.
Did that have a right hook? Or did it just start off with a really clear premise and then you decided, am I gonna see where it goes? Because that's what all the slow shows did. It started off with a premise
Yeah.
and it trusted you to follow along for a couple of episodes to see if the
Yeah.
beginning of that premise was gonna be good. So I think even if they have a strong right hook, I think you should still check out to see how it follows through on that promise.
Oh yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is a great example. I definitely had a strong
Yeah.
hook.
Yeah, that's strong.
You said Hunter
That's
Hunter?
true. But then to be
No, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu
No,
Hakusho,
Yu
yeah,
Yu
Yu Yu
Hakusho
Hakusho
had a strong
man got
hook.
hit with a car in episode 1,
Came
bro.
in swinging.
Dude,
Died.
Yeah, he got hit with a
episode
car. He
one.
dude,
died.
there was a
Yeah.
funeral
But see-
in the
but
first
see-
episode. Heart, tears, jerking.
It kept me going though. It kept me. Ew, pause. But it kept me going though.
Nobody was thinking that.
Like, I don't even know what you said. I just heard jerk, and I was like, "Yo, pause.
I
What
said
are you talking
tear
about?
jerking.
Oh, he said tear jerk. I was like, "Why did he just? Why
What's
did he say
wrong
he's
with
jerking?
you?
He's watching. Like, I'm like, he's watching Space Brothers now, and he's talking about jerking. Like, what's going on here? So, anyway, all I'm saying is that I will say I concede on the point that certain genres, I will say adventure and slice of life, I will say have the exception. But I do think like battle shonens, for example, is one of those where it's like you're kind of your whole purpose is to like get me engaged, get me excited, and everything like that. So I do want you to pull me in right away. That does not mean older shows like Bleach or Yu Hakusho or whoever need to like hit me in the face. Those ones, and even One Piece remake. Take your time with One Piece remake. It's an old show, readapting it. It'll be the same thing if like Dragon Ball Z. Like I don't need Dragon Ball Z Kai to come smack me in the face and be like, "Come here." Like I'm fine with you taking your time, showing me the characters in the world because that's an old behind dusty anime. So
They
with these
did say
new
come
gen
here.
animes, they'll need to.
Dragon Ball Z Kai
Say that
got
again?
rid of that whole episode where Gohan was just lost in the forest chasing a butterfly.
Oh, damn, I do miss that episode. That was a good episode. But it's a side note. That's a side
Exactly.
note. But
He wants
yes.
the slow.
But-
He wants the 3 episode rule. He don't know it.
I like the slow with the old, not with the new. But
Pause.
regardless, I think yo, be quiet, yo,
All
y'all.
right, and that was respectfully speaking. I think we're out.
Yes, yes. So that is the episode, y'all. Thank you to watching. Respectfully speaking, tune in next time when we have more stuff to talk about. Hopefully, some anime hot takes. But now we're gonna leave. This is James, Jason, and Malcolm, and we're out. Peace.